Conan got that out of the way. This might get political. There is an alternative Oscars held by Kid Rock at the Dave & Buster's down the street. Frankenstein, real sets, real production design, Sinners as well. These are for the real filmmakers. Madigan, you keep at it. Maybe you'll get your time to shine. If I had legs, I'd kick you. Might as well have been a horror film for people hesitant about having kids. All right. Welcome to the Actor's Guide to the Underworld podcast, where we talk about acting in Hollywood in a way people understand. I'm Ikon Song.
I am Rían Sheehy Kelly.
What's up, buddy? A lot to talk about. Follow us wherever you find your podcast at Actors Guide Podcast. We're on all social media. Share with a friend if you enjoy the episode. It really helps the podcast.
Now, a word from our sponsor for today's episode. Does your pet get the yips in auditions? Does your little friend literally shit the bed at callbacks?
Welcome to the Royal Academy for Dramatic Barks, where your puppies will be trained by acting legends Ellen Barkin,
Mark Ruffalo,
and Sir Patrick Stewart. Sign up today. Let's just get into it. A lot to talk about. I love the Oscars.
Good Oscars.
Yeah. Really great results. We're going to talk about our favorite winners, our favorite moments. I thought, especially this is Conan's second back-to-back Oscars. I thought he just improved and even crushed, harder than last year. I felt like overall the entire telecast was just stepped it up on all levels. Great movies, great speeches.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I really liked it.
The fact that you and I saw a lot of them, I felt like I got to participate in the award season a lot more. Obviously, we're talking about it week to week. I'm so glad that I actually watched it live. Like I said, Conan, the telecast, they crushed. This is the moment where you actually really hope to watch it live instead of clips, because there's little ad libs that won't make it onto YouTube. There's little moments that are going to get cut, edited out. We're going to talk about our favorite skits or sketches. There's a couple little moments that people might have missed. Some surprises we'll get to. And I do have one thing that they could have done a lot better on, which I'll...
What's that?
No, I'm teasing it. So let's get to Conan. I mean, we're not going to go through every joke, but his opening monologue was pretty great. I was waiting for the first opera ballet joke. It basically happened in the first 5 seconds. It was cool. It was cute. Just get it out of the way. Timothée Chalamet had a good laugh. He took a shot at Ted Sarandos. Like, this is what a theater looks like. You know what I mean? This is what everyone's raving about. And, I don't know how conscious this is, but it felt like it also improved on all the other award shows. Some award shows are like, some of the award shows were really sterile. Some were a little disjointed. Some were surprisingly muted, like very apolitical, almost like it was censored. Yeah. This one, needless to say, a big theme was international diversity representation, which was represented in the winners. And to be honest, it was well deserved, right? So we'll get to that. But there were a good handful of political jabs.
Yeah, there were.
Conan got that out of the way in the beginning. He's like, hey, just so you know, this might get political. There is an alternative Oscars held by Kid Rock at the Dave & Buster's down the street. And, it's like he wasn't joking around. There were some political jokes. And by the way, if you're not from LA, there is a Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. So it's so spot on. But my thing is if something is going to get maybe preachy or a little political and so on, make it short, make it concise, make it articulate. And if you're a comedian, hopefully make it funny. To be honest, for most of the time, it was. You know what I mean? They were really sharp. They were really smart. I gotta tell this one to you because it was Hamnet related. he said of a joke on Hamnet. He goes, so when you watch Hamnet, the first thing that they show you is on the screen is that Hamnet actually is the same thing as Hamlet back in the day. And Conan goes, it was at that moment I knew buckle up because this one's going to be a ride. You got to watch it. Watch it. Tell it. We'll put the links in the description.
Conan's. I was talking to someone the other day who just can't stand him, and I'm like, really? I didn't. Wow. I was like, oh, okay. But this person was Irish, and I think hadn't seen much of him except on the Oscars. Maybe we get most of our clips of American TV now via social media. You know what I mean? But like, I didn't grow up on SNL. I didn't grow up on like a lot of the talk shows. The way.
Oh, when you say Irish, you mean someone from Ireland?
Yeah, who was visiting.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I think he's great. Just want to say.
Yeah. We're definitely. I'm definitely a fan as well. Conan is a very particular taste, but I will say, the Oscars job is almost. It's almost an impossible job. You're trying to please so many, like a wide, diverse audience, and then also a billion people watching. There's a lot of comedians and there's a lot of people who don't want this job. It's too much pressure. The stakes are too high.
Wait, you think people turn it down?
Wait, are you joking?
Yeah, I'm not joking. Why would people, who's turning it down?
So for starters, there's always Kevin Hart. In 2019, he got soft canceled for tweets. He was set to host the Oscars, then had to bow out. And now years later, he swore it off, saying that it'll never happen. He said, kill the idea of it. It's not going to happen. There's just no return of good. What is it doing for me? Jimmy Kimmel was asked to do it in 2025, said it was too much work for his work staff. John Mulaney passed up on it in 2025. We have Lin-Manuel Miranda, who admitted that it's not his skill set. Jimmy Fallon turned it down. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, too difficult, too exhausting. Seth MacFarlane did it in 2013. I almost forgot about that and said no way he would never do it again. Chris Rock, he's done with it. The question is what's the upside? Like, Conan is so American. I'm not surprised that people not from America just don't know how to place him. Conan actually is a little niche, which is part of the reason why he works so great for the Oscars, because he allows them to be a little silly. Last year, Conan also had the job of talking about the fires. So the balance between the serious and the silly, it was really tough last year. And he did a great job this year as well, because, there's still a lot of, serious things happening in our industry and the world. I just want to mention this because at the very end, when he's kind of getting out of his monologue, he had a serious moment. Moments like these have particular resonance. 31 countries across 6 continents are represented. We pay tribute to not just film, ideals of global artistry, collaboration, resilience, and the rarest of qualities today, optimism. Let us celebrate not because we think all is well, but because we work and hope for better. So I thought that was a great way to kind of start it off because, it's a crazy time and everyone's getting dressed up in their tuxes and their fancy clothes. You can't ignore what's happening in the world. So I thought they did a great job, a really great balance. So let's talk about our best bits. We're not gonna break down all of them. We're gonna put the links in the description. So YouTube's taking over the Oscar telecast in 2029. They were projecting, what would it be like? It's not going to change that much. What would it be like with YouTube taking over the telecast? And then they started to do a series of YouTube ads. The ad spokesperson was Jane Lynch. It was hilarious. And they did a Casablanca sketch.
I saw the Casablanca sketch with Sterling K. Brown, yeah. Yeah,
Sterling K. Brown on the piano. So that was great. They did a bit with Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids 15-year anniversary. That was great, and that's even more poignant because you have Maya Rudolph, who is married to Paul Thomas Anderson, and then you have Rose Byrne, obviously nominated for an Oscar. So the In Memoriam, it was really emotional because of how many people passed this year. Billy Crystal did a nice kind of introduction to, talking about Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner, yeah, that was rough. And then, Diane Keaton, and
I know Diane Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, obviously that was very recent.
Yeah, that was rough.
So even orchestra or even producing that how they broke it up, they had Rachel McAdams come in and kind of speak
She
a
was
little
great
bit.
too.
Yeah, she was really great.
She always comes across as very genuine and very, just I thought that was really heartfelt. She's great, Rachel McAdams.
I agree. Robert Redford, you have Barbara Streisand gave a tribute and even sang for him. So this was, and then obviously Robert Duvall. There's so many names that just go one after the other. We're like, it's like we say this every year, but it's like, wow, I can't believe all this happened this year. So
yeah.
Anyway, so I thought the production did an amazing job. Let's talk about the big winners, and I thought that they were really fair with who won. I mean, obviously we'll get to some surprises. Sinners won a good amount. One battle after another, won the big prize and the major ones. Sinners got a lot of love. Ryan Coogler got original screenplay, which was well deserved.
Oh, that was great. I mean, I was thrilled. I was really happy for Michael B. Jordan. I thought that was a great win for him.
In all honesty, I actually thought Timothée Chalamet was actually still going to win. So I was actually surprised a little bit.
Did you see his face when he didn't? He was crushed.
You know what? To be honest, he didn't actually look that bad.
Oh, I thought he did. Oh,
really?
It looked like someone just punched him in the stomach. Even though he was smiling, it looks like someone just gave him a dig in the stomach.
Really? So let's recap for everyone. So Michael B. Jordan took the favorite, far as favorite to win. So the Sinners montage sequence, if you watch the Sinners performance, they're recreating the juke joint sequence. That was this really elaborate one take. It walks through different musical genres in the film.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
This was an elaborate. This is like one of the best sequences of the year by far. This is also part of the reason why the cinematographer won the Oscar, because of this incredible sequence. And you have these different dancers, these different musical genres, whether it's Asian, hip hop, street. They tried to recreate that in the live performance. They announced last week that they were going to incorporate a ballet dancer, obviously as a response to Timothée Chalamet's opera and ballet comments. Now, this is not a joke, and I don't think it was mean-spirited, but it is kind of crazy if you think about it. Not only that, are you incorporating ballet in front of Timothée Chalamet, who's sitting in the front row, who's sitting around waiting to see if he won. The other twist is Misty Copeland, famous ballet dancer, is going to be doing the ballet performance. The reason why this is significant is because Misty Copeland did advertising promotions for Marty Supreme. Needless to say, Misty Copeland had something to say about it.
Which was what?
It's kind of interesting how you tapped on me to, with such respect of ballet, yet I guess you don't really respect it that much. She said her piece. The performance was incredible. I'm actually amazed that the cameras didn't even look at Timothée Chalamet's reaction to the performance.
He shouldn't be the story, though. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, that is fair. I was very curious. A lot of people thought that the opera ballet jokes were actually a bit much.
Well, in his defense, and I think the comments were stupid. And he's young, and he said a lot of things which have hurt him. You know what I mean? He sort of made an offhand comment, which was ill. It was a stupid thing to say. But he's also, he's young and he's sort of impulsive, and he says these things and he gets himself into trouble. I think cutting to his reaction at the Oscars would be a bit weird. Right. What does he think of this fucking thing? Because there's a ballet dancer in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think it's that. I'm sure he regrets what he said because of the backlash it caused. And
I agree. I thought it was a 30-year-old kid who's been talking too much and it got away from him. There was part of me that wonders, is this silly comment the actual reason, or was it already that he was the favorite after the SAG Awards? We'll never know. This is the game. This is how it works. But Michael B. Jordan capped it off, won Best Actor. And as much as Timothy Chalamet's PR campaign was full steam, you notice, you watch 3 hours of this show, Timothy Chalamet was very little part of it. So there you go. And he's gonna have plenty of opportunities in the future, and the young gun is gonna keep pushing.
Yeah, but I think the main three or four big stories from it, like, Sinners, big win for Sinners. Great to see Rían Coogler up there and his speech. Michael B. Jordan, Jessie Buckley, Autumn Durald, Arkapaw, like the DP for the cinematography. They're all great stories. It's what we talked about before. It's like, they're the stories that people really get on board with. Those are the, like, I really loved that. I felt great about those people winning. I loved seeing them win. There's something about that that's really compelling, and I think that's the value of award shows, particularly the Oscars, because, like, it's about the story, and I think had Timothy Chalamet won, it wouldn't have been a story that people get behind in the same way. You know what I mean? It's
I like that. So you bring up a great point. This is how I go. It's not just a great story, because at that point it'd be like, oh, this is an international Oscars. Let's just give all the international people a winner. Like, I actually felt like it was also well deserved, which I'm not thinking that you're saying it's not, but that's why I love the Oscars so much. It's because it's how it all played out, where you have also, by the way, Frankenstein won a lot of the awards, costume, makeup. I thought that was well deserved. That could have gone a lot of different ways. First woman cinematographer, Autumn Durald Arkapaw. She's also Asian and Black. That's freaking huge. That could have gone a lot of different ways.
What did you think of Best Supporting Actor for Sean Penn?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. He was kind of a heavy favorite, right? It's one thing for him not to be at the SAG Awards. It's another thing where, like, I don't know if you heard about Delroy Lindo's reaction.
I kind of wanted Delroy Lindo to win, but what was his reaction to it?
It's funny because you talked about Timothy Chalamet's reaction to Michael B. Jordan winning. Delroy Lindo, visibly stoic, did not clap. He was hinting that he might be in Europe or the
in Ukraine
with President Zelensky. We know that he's very close to the president. He was supporting Ukraine. He's been over there all the time. There's more to this story because this goes back years. I actually saw this video of Sean Penn criticizing the Oscars. He said that he always believed that the Academy represented the best that the films can celebrate. That year, right after the invasion, he set up this moment where President Zelensky could actually send a message to the Oscars. Thanks for everyone's support. And he was going to talk about the power of film, and the Academy chose not to do it. And it just so happened that year was the same year as the Will Smith slap. Needless to say, Sean Penn does not have a positive opinion of the Academy. Sean Penn thing to do. And
yeah. Kieran Culkin had a good line.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Sean Penn couldn't be here, or didn't want to be.
Bummed that.
I mean, it was a good performance. It was it was a fascinating performance. Like, he was kind of fascinating to watch in that movie. It seemed like some of it was just a product of his lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, that the character that he was playing, there was a lot of Sean Penn in that. You know what I mean? The smoking and just how he looked and talked. And
this is one of those things. We all love a great story. It would have been a great story for Delroy Lindo. That being said, Sean Penn also in this film that one battle after another that obviously is going to be sweeping a lot of the awards because it's just, this is the year for it. Sean Penn's performance was kind of undeniable, and that's kind of like how it goes.
Amy Madigan as well. Thrilled for Amy Madigan. That was a great win for her. She seems like a wonderful person. For Weapons, which was the creepiest fucking. She was so creepy in that movie.
Let's talk about this. The first casting Oscar was awarded last night. To see, a new award. I think we both can agree this is well deserved. Them get celebrated and get a little attention, and then Cassandra Koulakounis for One Battle After Another won. To see her just explode with glee. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
it was so refreshing. She gave a great speech and honoring all the casting directors that never got a chance to be celebrated after all these years of being in the awards. And then also it was really funny. You could tell it was kind of off the cuff, and just you could tell she has a great personality and sense of humor because she's worked with Paul Thomas Anderson for a long time. I think they did 10 films together. She goes, "It's kind of crazy. I got one before you, huh?" And yeah, and I was like, "Ooh, I really do hope that he wins one because that is crazy." She just threw that out there, but he did eventually win.
But he did. His speech was great too.
Even introducing that award was great. They had a lot of actors kind of talk about their contribution to the film and what a great job they did. So,
and I think as well that obviously richly deserved that. Of course, there should be a casting award. Like it's like anything else. You know what I mean? Every aspect of this industry. If people are getting recognized, then I think everybody deserves to get recognized, and casting is a tough job. But again, I think with those films, the casting of those films, a lot of it is the story of like Teyana Taylor was like the big story in One Battle After Another, and in Hamlet, the kid who played the young Hamlet was incredible. So I think finding those actors is like. That really helps, I'm sure, in that sort of when you're picking a winner, you think about who the people that casting director helped find, and elevated to those roles that gave compelling performances. So I think it was great.
And it kind of it ties together because we were talking about the casting category a little bit last week, and also it's a great note for actors where casting directors are our champions. They're supporting us. They want us to win. And, when you find a new breaking out star like Chase Infinity from One Battle After Another, she's 20. I think she just turned 25, and she's literally in the reboot of Handmaid's Tale. She's in the tons of projects.
Yeah.
When you find this breakout star, these casting directors, they dream of giving an actor this opportunity. They're rooting for you. They're rooting for us to succeed.
And that actually ties in another storyline that we were talking about, the casting of Marty Supreme, Kevin O'Leary, non-actors in that film. And Gwyneth Paltrow is introducing Jennifer Venditti and mentioned that she has a documentary background. She has the rare ability to see people as they truly are and how they belong, the true value of lived-in experience, and it can't be faked. Everyone has a story to tell. Love it or hate it, that explains a lot about the choice to cast non-actors.
So I don't know if you saw the category for short action film. Kumail Nanjiani was introducing. Oh my God! First off, Kumail Nanjiani. I don't know whether he wrote it or they wrote this bit for him. Brilliant setup. He's like, honestly, there's a lot of features that probably should have been shorts. I mean, just think about it. It's not. It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Month. It's not Schindler's List. It's Schindler's Post-it, right? So he just goes on this incredible run. It's like so Kumail, right? The irony is, short live action film was a tie.
Oh, that's right. That was the tie. Yeah.
No disrespect to the short film live action, but it was probably the most exciting short film live action that we've seen in a long time. Which brings us to the one thing that they could have done a lot better was playing people off. Good God. There was a couple brutal moments where they're just blasting the music.
I hate that.
You have to use a good judgment in whoever's pushing that button and playing that music. So the second winner for short film, apparently, I think they cut to Conan. There was some weird back and forth, and Conan made a joke saying they tried to retract the microphone from him. They tried to retract the microphone from the second short live action, and Conan was like, I have to admit, that's hilarious, but still. Anyway, so, and the winner there was one for Golden, and we'll get to K-pop Demon Hunters because obviously they were a huge a huge moment for the Oscars.
That's like one of those things. I feel like I just missed the
you
email about it, and I'm
it.
like, what is this again?
Yeah.
Like my 4-year-old niece loves K-pop Demon Hunters. That's what I know.
I was going to say we're the last two people on Earth who have not watched it and don't have a connection on it. When Golden was accepting for best song, I think he was the director or one of the co-writers. They literally blasted him off, cut the lights.
Yeah.
It was just it was brutal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I don't think that's necessary too. Like I think, like how the fuck did Adrian Brody get away with it last year? You know what I mean? Like how did Adrian Brody talk for so long without getting
well, part of that joke was, hey, please cut the music. This is not my first rodeo. It's
yeah, that's right. He told them to fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah, when you got brass iron, status, and you control it.
Did you replace the word balls with status?
Yeah, exactly. This is a family program, Rían. That's how you control it. Delroy Lindo pulled the same move over the SAG Awards. It was kind of we knew that K-pop Demon Hunters, besides massive success and a massive hit for Netflix. Anyway, so great representation for Korea. This is kind of going to the thing as far as how international this Oscars was.
There was two big ones for Ireland. One was Richie Bainham winning his third Oscar for special effects for Avatar. So that's his, which is amazing when you think about it. Like there's a guy from Dublin who's won 3 Academy Awards, which is pretty incredible.
Wow. And
then obviously Jessie Buckley, which I think the whole country of Ireland was screaming about.
Yeah.
Either last night or this morning. Mm-hmm. And her speech was fantastic. So that was that was one of the huge ones for me of the night, where
Jessie Buckley, we knew that she was going to be a lock. I thought her speech was great. And then this is tying to the Amy Madigan, Jessie Buckley speech. I think both of them were in the moment, heartfelt. This is kind of like what we hope for from an Oscar speech. It's just like this perfect, poignant moment of whether it's surprise, it's not completely crafted and is poignant. And also the fact that it was Mother's Day in Ireland. It's like, I hope you called your mom. I didn't know that it was Mother's Day.
Well,
I didn't even know.
Why would you?
That's true. So every country just has a different Mother's Day, huh? I guess I never really thought of it.
No, there's crossover, but ours is always before the American one, which catches me off guard when the American one comes up. I'm like, shit,
that's hilarious.
I'm like, oh no,
that's hilarious. For her to give an ode to motherhood, she has a newborn, she has a young child.
Also, the fact that she gave that performance before she was a mother, like I think she
also said this. It was a tribute to the beautiful chaos of the mother's heart, and really beautiful. I will say, and this is kind of looking at the films as a whole and just participating in this award season. I saw If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I was intrigued. Oh my God. It is about Rose Byrne plays a mother who's struggling with motherhood. Good God, is she struggling. You talk about weapons and you have these scary little kids. You have I Have Legs. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. You have Jessie Buckley and her birthing scenes. Good God.
I know. You felt like you were giving birth when Jessie Buckley was. Did you feel like a mother when you were watching Rose Byrne's?
No, I was like, I'm so glad I don't have kids. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You might as well have been a horror film for people hesitant about having kids. Now that I saw a handful of the women-led films, it's funny how it was about motherhood. A lot of them were about motherhood, this painful emotional process. And then all the guys' films are about like running amok and having a blast and having a good time. Anyway, it says a lot about what's happening in our society. If you're scared of little kids, if you're scared of children, get ready. Those films are not going to be easy to watch. I thought Rose Byrne was incredible. In all honesty, I put her performance side by side with Jessie Buckley. That good.
Really?
Anyway, so yeah, fun times for all the women out there. Great representation. First woman cinematographer in history. Yeah, so let's get to the big awards. So we talked about Amy Madigan. Incredibly heartfelt. I don't know if this made it in the last one, but her and Ed Harris. What a couple, huh? So Ed Harris, they've been married for a long time. Amy Madigan's speech is just beautiful, poignant. Another thing, just for all the actors listening, I remember Ethan Hawke. I mean, granted, Ethan Hawke was a long shot, but I saw him on the red carpet. This is the first time he got nominated for Best Actor. And Ethan Hawke goes, "Yeah, not bad. I've only been doing this for 40 years, right? Maybe I could get a little taste of what it's like to be at the big show." And it just kind of goes to show you where you stick around, you keep at it. Amy Madigan is one of them, and maybe you'll get your time to shine. And then Paul Thomas Anderson got first adapted screenplay. It was a heavy favorite, one battle after another. His speeches were nice. They were really poignant. And I was really happy for him. It's well-deserved. He's one of our best, the top filmmakers of this generation, for sure. It's kind of amazing how he hasn't won
that's surprising.
until now. So original screenplay goes to Sinners. Then we start getting to the bigger awards. Ryan Coogler wins. Well-deserved. I want to give a little more love to Frankenstein. Production design, costume. This award show was very fair, and it was very deserved for these filmmakers, Ryan Coogler, Guillermo del Toro, Paul Thomas Anderson. These are kind of the top at what they do. And Frankenstein, for those that haven't seen it, specifically a conscious effort for real sets, real production design. There's a huge ship that was all real that they constructed because Guillermo del Toro wanted real practical effects. And this is a nod to that. Sinners as well. These are for the real filmmakers. They poked a little fun talking about AI a teeny bit over the telecast, but this was well deserved, and it kind of showed in who won. So I thought this was a really big win for filmmaking. And so Jimmy Kimmel kind of stood in for Conan doing documentary. We're not going to, and needless to say, it was a little political for his bits, but late night talk is obviously in the spotlight. Poking a little jabs at CBS. He did make a couple of jokes at I don't know if you caught these, the Melania as Amazon documentary.
Yeah.
It's very subtle when he made fun of it, but it is kind of funny.
Some documentaries can literally make you, or can get you killed, but you make them anyway. And some are just, about you walking around the White House, picking out shoes or whatever.
Adrian Brody has to present for Best Actor. And, Adrian Brody is just soaking it up. He does make a joke at himself. And, Michael B. Jordan was very effusive in, hey, you supported me. You bet on me, and I'm going to try to do my best, and I'm going to keep pushing. I'm not going to lie. I really would have loved to hear what Timothy has to say after all of this. That being said, you see two different ways of handling yourself, and Michael B. Jordan has always been a class act, and I think that's what he stands for, as well as Ryan Coogler. And it says a lot. All the speeches, it's a great lesson for actors, how to conduct yourself, how to handle the spotlight. Ryan Coogler did mention the fact that they got this much love for Sinners, considering they've been out longer than all the other films like we've talked about. So there you go.
It was great.
That's the power of a great film. It's a good time. It's a good time for our film industry right now. And then the last thing, they did have time for Conan's last tail end sketch. Did you catch this? It was an ode to One Battle After Another. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it for everyone, but it was a throwback to one of Sean Penn's scenes in the film, and then also a nod to Mr. Beast in YouTube. So
it was
really great.
It was very
well done. Top to bottom, what a great Oscars.
I came away from the Oscars feeling very positive this year, which is not always the case.
Like, we also were coming out of the pandemic, so this is by far one of the better award seasons and year of movies we've had in years. This is one of the better Oscars, and the Oscars is going to be, if there's no good movies to celebrate, then the Oscars isn't going to be as great. You know what I mean? So it's like, we've been waiting for this. The industry has been slumping. We had 2 strikes. We had a fires in LA.
I think that's echoed. Like, I went to a couple of events this week that were organized by the Irish Consulate. And the first one was the Irish Oscars brunch on Friday. And it was a brilliant event. It was at a restaurant in West Hollywood, but it was like a lot of Irish industry people and people connected to the Irish industry. You know, there were people from Screen Ireland there, the Ceann Comhairle, which is like the third most senior elected official in our government. A bunch of there were a lot of producers and directors and actors and just a lot of film industry people there. But the mood was really positive, and to hear what's going on, to hear what's coming up, to hear where people are, how people are doing. It was a really fun event. And, and then the second was, there was a St. Patrick's Day event. But it was really cool to see, to talk to people, to see what's happening in Ireland, the state of production, and then also to get behind, the Irish nominees for the Oscars. And it's been like that the last few years, particularly as an Irish person, Irish film is really being recognized, and Irish talent is being recognized. And it's a very positive time. And I'm going to plug one more time. The Ciacla Los Angeles Irish Film Festival is on next weekend, which I mentioned last week.
Oh, yeah.
This coming weekend. And it's at the Lamellet Cinema in Santa Monica. And it's 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there's a ton of great Irish films. And there'll be a lot of networking events and mixers and panels you can go to.
And we got the link in last week's episode too, because we did that as a hidden gem. All right. So that's it. Oscar season, everyone. In the books. Hidden gems.
If you're a member of SAG-AFTRA, there is so much available to you that you may not be aware of. For example, I'm going to a class today that is free at the SAG-AFTRA building. If you're not in Los Angeles, there are classes also in different locals of SAG-AFTRA or online. So if you're a member, there's lots to take advantage of that you may not be. And just have a look at the events and see what's coming up. But I've just signed up for 2 free classes via SAG-AFTRA, which I will report back on when I have done them.
That's awesome. Yeah. I would love to hear about that. We'll keep that going and we'll bring that in. So I want to incorporate this one just because this is as an ode to cinema and filmmaking. I think it's a great app, and I haven't seen anything compete with it. It's called Nibble. And it is the alternative for mindless scrolling. It is actually an app that gives you a 5-minute small bite-sized lesson. Anyway, they also have a segment that's specifically for cinema. So you can learn something about filmmaking, cinema history, and I think it's a great idea. That's probably
a bite of knowledge.
Little bite of knowledge for you guys. It is unfortunately not free, but if you're looking to get a little learning in,
that's why I don't go on TikTok.
That's a hidden gem. We got a lot of love for film this week.
Yep, and next year we'll be doing it live from the red carpet at the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. See ya. Have a good week.
See you next week.